Welcome to the next biggest winner. I'm George Cholos, host of the show that helps you on the hunt for the next big winning stock. On today's show, we're happy to introduce three great companies: Edgefront Realty, Kivalliq Energy, and Ormex Silver. So let's get things started. Join me in welcoming Ted Manziaris, Director of Edgefront Realty Corp. Ted, welcome to the show.
Thank you, George.
Edgefront Realty, newly listed TSX venture company, real estate. You're focusing on potentially being a REIT one day. In the meantime, the company says it's focusing on secondary markets. Why secondary markets, and what is a secondary market at the end of the day?
Well, I think the reason why we're focusing on secondary markets, the big reason is we're looking for a great yield. And yields in the main markets, such as big city markets like Toronto, Ottawa, Vancouver, the cap rates are pretty high, are pretty low.
Right, right.
It's the opposite. So they're pretty low. And we find that going a little bit out in great markets such as Halifax, even outside of Toronto, Waterloo, Kitchener, we can get a pretty good property with a great tenant, AAA tenant, and still have a higher yield and a higher cap rate. And the main reason I would say is you know, the big REITs are all fighting for properties now, and there's a lot less competition in the secondary markets.
So commercial properties are what you're focusing on. Is there a specific focus? Is it plazas, retail, office buildings, or is it anything that you can find with a good return? Well,
no, we do have a specific focus. We're looking at office buildings, retail, and like you mentioned, the plazas. But what we're really looking for is AAA tenant, so the risk is mitigated with a long-term lease, and we're looking for newer buildings, so we have less CapEx. Last thing we want to do is go buy some properties that need a lot of work. New roofs can cost hundreds of thousands, if not millions. HVAC, plumbing systems. We're looking for newly built buildings who are going to give us a great return with a great AAA tenant, almost like buying a 10-year bond.
Right.
And we're getting those in secondary markets at a 7-8 cap, which is pretty good, especially when you can lever it up a little bit.
The company recently acquired some property out east. It was about a $5.5 million
That's right.
project. What kind of property was that?
That was an office building in out east, as you mentioned. We've got two properties out there. Another one is a TD Bank. One's a government lease, 10 years, and the other one is TD Bank.
Can't find a better tenant than those two.
Exactly. And so when investors, you know, they know that, you know, as in everything, there is some risk, but we try to mitigate the risk.
I'm glad you bring that up, because what do you say to investors, playing devil's advocate here, what do you say to investors that say, Ted, Edgefront may be coming in at the top of the market because real estate is so expensive right now? You've got Flaherty himself who's trying to control interest rates, and the Bank of Canada trying to talk up interest rates a little bit. What do you say to critics or who say this is the top of the real estate market?
Well, you know what? I tend to agree in the sense of residential real estate. I mean, even myself, I'm looking at some of the prices of homes, and it's crazy. But with investment real estate, when you're dealing with more sophisticated investment people, there's got to be a return. And I think that with the interest rates remaining low, and my opinion is I think they're going to stay low for at least the next couple of years. And the REIT market has been on fire. The last 2-3 years, it's returned incredible returns. CIBC just came out with a report saying that, you know, they expect it to do very well again this year and next year. So I think that, you know, as long as you have the right management team, you're buying the right properties, and you're not competing against the guys with deeper pockets that can outbid you and drive down those cap rates. I think that, you know, I think it's a pretty good investment with a good future.
Let's talk about your management. The person heading the company right now, he's got pretty tremendous experience.
100%.
Let's talk about him.
Well, this guy's a real winner, and I think he should be on the show next time because he is the biggest winner. Kelly Hansik is a good friend of mine, and when he's got a lot of capital markets experience. He's got great real estate management experience, and and I always invest in management, not in terms of companies or business plans. I always invest in management, and he returned over 60% in a couple of years with his last REIT. So he has a lot of the experience, the know-how, and he's building a great team to manage this REIT. It's an honor for me to be on the board.
Based on what you said earlier, interest rates low, Canada being a great place to invest, Do you expect competition to heat up over the next 3-4 years from foreign money? Because I'm finding that foreign money is actually trying to get into this country. Great banking, solid political system. Is that concern you guys at all, or is that a benefit to you because it's just going to increase prices of your existing projects?
Well, I think that there's a little bit of both. I mean, the foreign money, there's been a lot of foreign money in here for the last 15 years. A lot of private money from Germany, from Israel has come in here, and they bought a lot of properties, and they have their own investment type companies that have come in there. A lot of it being wealthy individuals, a lot of it being pooled money. They've done very, very well in the market. And I think you're going to continue to see that. That's why we're focused more on the secondary market. A lot of, if foreign money's coming in here, they want to be downtown Toronto, like they want to be in New York City, in Manhattan, or in Zurich, or in London. That money's focused towards that areas. We're looking at the outside markets where, I don't think we're going to really have that much foreign competition. But money coming into Canada, foreign money coming in here, I think is a good thing.
Solid management, solid business plan. Thanks for being here, Ted.
My pleasure.
I'm going to talk to you at the round table.
Okay.
We'll be right back with John Carlesso of Orimex. The next biggest winner is brought to you in part by